Hare Krishna, very nice to be here in Prabhupada.
Molto bello essere di nuovo a Prabhupada.
So, my name is Anuttama. As I'm forced to say these days,
Il mio nome mi chiamo Anuttama, Prabhu,
as I'm forced to say these days,
come sono forzato tu.
I'm forced, by force I must say,
Per forza
yes,
devo dire,
that I live in Washington, D.C., and I did not vote for him.
Che vivo a Washington, D.C.
3 times I did not vote for him. Yeah? That for it from me? Anyway. So, I'm here with Mahaprabhu's arranged this nice communications conference for the devotees doing communications work.
Sono qui perché è stato invitato da Mahaprabhu per questo incontro delle comunicazioni per i devoti.
So, we're here to participate in that.
Siamo venuti qui per partecipare a questo incontro.
And I just thought one of the things that is actually part of the communications course
È una delle cose che è parte del corso delle comunicazioni.
but we're not going to do it with the whole communications group, but we wanted to do it here with the devotees.
Non lo facciamo con tutto il gruppo delle comunicazioni, ma lo facciamo qui con i devoti, una cosa.
There's a special seminar about, let's put this up, yeah, improving relationships with devotees.
C'è uno speciale seminario che parla di migliorare le relazioni con i devoti.
Luckily, it's a seminar that does not require a lot of technology,
Ma questo seminario non richiede tanta tecnologia,
so we'll be okay on that.
quindi ci sentiamo bene così.
Actually, I should give some credit because there are a lot of communications devotees here. As far as I know, this seminar itself was originally compiled by a Vaishnavi named Anuradha, not your Anuradha, the one from Ireland.
Qui sono molti devoti che appunto agiscono nelle comunicazioni, però questo seminario, questi incontri sono stati iniziati da una devota che si chiamava Anuradha.
So I want to give credit to her.
E gli diamo credito a lei che ha iniziato.
So we only have an hour and 50 minutes because of the artik for the deities.
Sì, adesso abbiamo solo un'ora e un quarto perché poi c'è l'artic delle divinità.
And also because the translation is a little slower, so I'm going to go a little fast.
Anche siccome la traduzione è un po' lenta, cerca di andare un po' veloce.
But what we're going to do is we're going to talk first about a little bit of background about a few Shastric quotes about the importance of association with devotees.
Prima un paio di qualche affermazione dagli Shastra, dalle scritture sull'importanza della compagnia dei devoti.
And then we're going to have a brainstorm about how we can practically do that.
Poi faremo un brainstorm di come possiamo applicarlo praticamente questo.
And then we're actually going to get up and do what we talk about.
Poi dopo ci alzeremo e vedremo di fare quello che stiamo discutendo.
Don't get too comfortable sitting down because you're going to be standing up in about 20 minutes.
Quindi non sedetevi troppo comodi perché fra circa 20 minuti dovrete alzarvi.
When we did this exercise in Argentina, they had to bring in about maybe 15 boxes of tissue.
Quando abbiamo fatto abbiamo toccato questo argomento in Argentina, hanno consumato circa 15 scatole di
There's a lot of Italians in Argentina. There's a lot of Italians in Argentina.
Molti italiani in Italia.
So I've never done this in Italy.
In Italy also they cry easily.
So we may need 25-30 boxes of tissue.
Forse ce ne vogliono 20-30 scatole per gli italiani di fazzoletti per
Where is Erica?
Per
This is going in and out, huh? Erica's left. We had this set up, but it's not working now. There it comes. Okay, good. Okay, so to start out, we just wanted to go over what the Shastra stresses about the association of devotees.
Quindi prima alcune affermazioni dalle scritture sull'importanza della compagnia dei devoti.
Just a few quotes. There's many, but this is just a few.
Ce ne sono tante, ma queste sono alcune.
Who here speaks English? Please raise your hands. Hold them up. Okay. Who here only speaks Italian? Raise your hand.
Chi parla solo italiano?
Okay, Hare Krishna. So, the importance of associating with devotees, and we'll try to go a little slow. We'll see. Okay? In the Adi Purana, you can prove this, you can just read off the screen directly, you can just translate from there, huh? In the Adi Purana, there is the following statement by Lord Krishna himself addressed to Arjuna. My dear Partha, one who claims to be my devotee is not so. Only a person who claims to be the devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. So we're all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, we're trying to learn to be Krishna's devotee, but the Lord himself says, actually you're not my devotee, if you say you are. Only devotees of my devotees are devotees. Okay? English is okay? My American is okay? Not too bad? Okay. I was one place a few years ago, I was giving a class in London, actually at the Manor. And there were communications conference. And I asked one of the devotees after the class, could you understand my English? He was German. He said, no problem, perfect. And I asked one other devotee who was Italian, could you understand my English? He said, not one word. I was trying to figure out what's the difference. And the German devotee said, it's easy. In Germany, we grew up with American television. So they understand the American English. But I think that's a curse. To grow up with American television is a curse. Okay, so Krishna himself is saying if you think you're devotee, if we're not devoted to his devotee, we're not actually devotee. Okay? Who wants to read the next one? Akantati Prabhu? Maybe you can. You're young and strong. You run the mic. Yes. Okay. Now we're going to go back and forth. A little American English, a little proper English.
I am not a Brahmin. I am not a Kshatriya. I am not a Vaishya or a Shudra. Nor am I a brahmachari, a householder, a vanparasta or a sannyasi. I identify myself only as the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis.
Okay, thank you. So who's speaking here? Lord Chaitanya, yes? So who's Lord Chaitanya? He's God, right? So we heard from Krishna, he's God. Now we hear from Lord Chaitanya, he's God. So he has a similar opinion. He's saying that actually I am the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna's devotees. I'm not Krishna's devotee, I'm the servant of the devotees, okay? Next one, maybe one of the ladies can read? Yes.
I try my best. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.19.21, Krishna says, Mat Bhakta Punja Bhadika. It is better to render service to my devotee. Thus, according to the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is better to be a servant of God.
Chaitanya Chanarita Madhya 1380.
Thank you. One should not try to serve Krishna directly. A pure Vaishnava serves a servant of Krishna and identifies himself as a servant of Krishna. This is pleasing to Lord Krishna.
Okay, so this is Prabhupada's purport. So we heard from Krishna, we heard from Lord Chaitanya, now we're hearing from Prabhupada. He's restating the same points. According to our philosophy as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, better to be a servant of the Lord than to think we're just going to serve Krishna directly. Okay? So sometimes one may think, well, that means the Diksha Guru. And of course we have to serve our Diksha Guru, but sometimes we think we only serve our Diksha Guru. There's a communications conference this weekend. That's one of the big causes of schism. You have your guru, he has his guru, she has her guru, and we all go our own different directions. So, misunderstanding. So we'll continue reading here. So we heard from Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada. Now we hear from somebody else, a very important person. Who would like to read this next? Oh, don't be bashful. Thank you.
Lord Shiva told the goddess Durga, My dear Devi, although the Vedas recommend worship of demigods, the worship of Lord Vishnu is topmost. However, above the worship of Lord Vishnu is the rendering of service to Vaishnavas who are related to Lord Vishnu.
Okay, so how important is Lord Shiva? Pretty important person in the universe, right? So we heard from Krishna, we heard from Lord Chaitanya, we heard from Prabhupada. Here we hear from Lord Shiva, who's saying of all the different types of worship of Vishnu is the best. Higher than service to Vishnu is serving the Vaishnavas related to Lord Vishnu. So even, again, from another source, serving the Vaishnavas, serving the devotees is even higher. Okay, and the next one, but let's all do this one together. The very famous, we'll read the original text. Tunadapi sanichena tarodhiva sahishnuna manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Translation.
One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor, but is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord.
Okay, so this again is Lord Chaitanya. Right, where's this from? Shishastika. How important is the Shishastika? He wrote, we understand, 8 verses, right? This is one of the 8. This is the one that said you should wear around your neck, right? So it's a very, very important verse. And what's he talking about? He's talking about chanting. How important is chanting the holy name to us? It's the Yuga Dharma, right? So it's the topmost religion, the topmost manifestation of the Lord in his very short prayers. And he's explaining here, one cannot make advancement and easily chant the holy name of the Lord unless one offers respect to all of the Prabhupada disciples, right? Is that what it says? Yes? No. Is that what it says? One has to respect the Prabhupada disciples? Is that what it says? All living entities, right? Okay, I misunderstood it. One should give all respect to all the sannyasis. Is that what it says? No? Did it say that, sannyasis? One should give all respect to the Diksha Guru. Does it say that? No. Siksha Guru? Senior devotees? Vaishnavas. Does it say one has to give respect to all the Vaishnavas to very easily chant the holy name of the Lord? Is that what Lord Chaitanya said? Hindus? Religious people. Human beings. What's he say? All living entities. Sorry, I skipped. All living entities. One is prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily chant the holy name of the Lord. So, important instruction for us. Chaitanya Charnarita, Anchalila 20:21. Now this is from the 9th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, went over one extra page, but we'll go down. So, you want to read again? Jiva Goswami. How important is Jiva Goswami?
Very important.
Topmost scholar, right? Most important scholar amongst all of Lord Chaitanya's followers. Jiva Goswami is the greatest scholar. He's giving his commentary on 9:11 Bhagavad Gita. Go ahead.
Jiva Goswami, commenting on this verse, says that Krishna, in his plenary expansion as Paramatma, is situated in the moving and the non-moving entities as the Supersoul. So any neophyte devotee who simply gives his attention to the Archamurti, the form of the Supreme Lord in the temple, and does not respect other living entities, is uselessly worshipping the form of the Lord in the temple.
Okay. So Jiva Goswami is explaining Krishna is in everyone's heart. And if a neophyte devotee gives more attention to the deity and does not respect other living entities, now the capital, uselessly, we put that capital there to emphasize it. But if we're worshiping the deity in the Lord, of the Lord in the temple, but we don't respect other living entities, according to Jiva Goswami, how valuable is our service to the deities? What does he say? Useless. In Italian, what's the word in Italian for useless? Yeah, strong word, huh? So, just like now, by Krishna's grace, we're having a darshan of the deities. But Jiva Goswami explains, if we come, we have darshan, we chant kirtan, we do some puja, we offer our food, all of those different services. If we don't respect other living entities, our deity worship is useless. Anybody remember studying this verse? Raise your hand if you remember studying this verse. A few. Not so much. This is important for us, isn't it? It's really critical. Okay, so there's no more verses listed, but actually in the purport, it gets even heavier. Stronger than this. So we heard from Krishna, we heard from Lord Chaitanya, we heard from Lord Shiva, we heard from Srila Prabhupada, we heard from Lord Chaitanya again. We just heard from Jiva Goswami. So then Prabhupada goes on and explains. Let's see. There are 3 kinds of devotees of the Lord. And the neophyte is in the lowest stage. The neophyte devotee gives more attention to the deity in the temple than through other devotees. So we have to stop about it. Do we give more attention to the deity in the temple than to other devotees? We kind of think that's what we're supposed to do, right? Prabhupada writes, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur warns that this sort of mentality should be corrected. I'll read it again. The neophyte devotee gives more attention to the deity in the temple than to other devotees. All of you here. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur warns that this sort of mentality should be corrected. So, talking about relationships with devotees, you have to kind of start out, Haribo, vive la France. So just as a little bit of background, what's the Shastra say about the importance of association with devotees? Because we know it's important to associate with devotees, but just how important it is to associate with devotees, and then it's expanded even in terms of other living entities, that if we want to worship Krishna, we want to be a devotee of Krishna, we want to go back to Krishna. Krishna is saying, Lord Chaitanya is saying, Lord Shiva is saying, Prabhupada is saying, Jiva Goswami is saying, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, we can't do that unless we learn to serve the Vaishnavas, as emphasized in the beginning, and then show respect and serve all of the living entities. So that's what we thought we'll talk about that a little bit, and how we can best do that. So, let's do some brainstorming. What are some ways we can serve the devotees? And I know it's hard here because you're all looking out on this beautiful green landscape. If I was sitting there, I would not be listening to me. I would be looking at the beautiful landscape. We should reverse the wall so you're all... Then you'd be looking at Krishna. So that's also another more beautiful distraction. But let's discuss a little bit. We don't have a flip chart, but we can maybe just keep an eye. Who has some thoughts? How can we serve, right? We're understanding we need to serve the devotees, right? It's clear? We're understanding if we don't serve the devotees, our worship of the deity is, what did Jiva Goswami say? Useless, right? So someone may think, well, wait a minute. Every morning I come and I worship the deities. So you're saying my worship is useless? No, I'm not saying. Jiva Goswami is saying. It's useless unless we respect other living beings. So, in terms of the deity, in terms of devotees, let's start with the devotees. How can we serve the devotees? Tatvavid Prabhu.
And when I joined ISKCON, Jayananda Prabhu set a really good example of serving the devotees. He never once sat down to honor prasadam until he had personally served all the devotees the prasadam, every meal, unfailingly.
Wow. Beautiful. So serve prasadam at least a few people, even a few devotees, even if we can't be last every day. But what a wonderful example he set. Someone else, what are some ways we can serve devotees? Because this is serious, because we just read, we're trying to be devotees. That's why we're here, right? Maybe you came for dinner, but that's also being a devotee. But we just read, we can't really become a devotee of Krishna unless we become a devotee of his devotees. So this is like serious stuff. We have to do this, or else we stay here. Life after life, birth after birth. Okay? So how do we do this? Yes, Prabhu.
Give special gifts to devotees.
Okay. We can give gifts to devotees. You want to explain all 6 parts of that?
Rati pratignati, uyamakyati prichnati, bhunkte bhujete chaiva. So this is, give gifts, something that we know that the person is anchoring for needs, or some very personal.
So we can give gifts and we can accept gifts. Okay, what's the other one?
Well, Prabhu mentioned give prasadam, serve prasadam, also accept prasadam from the devotees.
Yes.
And revealing the mind also.
Revealing the mind in confidence, and then
also accepts the
in confidence.
some information.
What does it
from
mean
others.
what does it mean in confidence?
Confidence means that you know that the person you're talking with is a person capable of helping you, knows you, and has some affection for you.
Okay.
Basically.
And especially, at least in English, confidentiality means I tell you something, you don't tell anyone else. At least until tomorrow morning's breakfast. Yeah?
Don't put
Is that what it
Facebook.
means? Sometimes this is one of the biggest challenges in the community, keeping confidentiality. Because, all kinds of becauses, but among other things, as conditioned souls, we're suffering in this world, and part of our material joy comes from pushing others down. Isn't it? The more I push you down, I think I'm coming up. We were just in Istanbul, and there's one, what is it, Hagia Sophia. It was originally a Roman temple, which they destroyed. On the top of it, they built a Christian church, which they conquered, and then they turned it into a mosque. And then they turned it into a museum for secularism, and then it went back to a mosque. So everybody's always trying to compete, push the other one down. They call that triumphalism. So even amongst our personal relationships, sometimes if someone reveals their mind to us in confidence, then we have to keep that confidentiality. Because rumors in communities, they destroy the quality of relationships, isn't it? I tell you I'm having trouble with my japa, and the next day in Bhagavatam class, you explain, we all have to chant good japa, not like Anuttama, who's struggling with his japa. And then how do I feel if that happens? Do I feel good? No. Sometimes people go away. If they're so, but it's important to mention though, because it's the world, it's a difficult world. There's 2 things where you can break confidentiality. What are those 2 times you can break confidentiality? If someone's going to hurt someone, or if they're going to hurt themselves, then you can break confidentiality, because they need help. It happens sometimes in our Vaishnava communities. It happens all around the world. And someone takes their life or causes some violence to another person, then you have to intervene. But otherwise, confidentiality has to be respected. Okay, what are some other ways we can serve devotees? Yes.
Keep the temple clean.
Keep the
temple clean.
How is that serving devotees?
Well, it's not nice to come to a dirty temple. It affects the consciousness also.
Very good. Yeah, by cleaning the temple, we're also serving the devotees, because it's peaceful and they feel happy coming. Something they don't do so good in every ISKCON temple, but we should. Yeah, good. What else? Agandati Prabhu. We can run major campaigns to keep Prabhupada's temples open when the outside neighbors misunderstand and feel challenged by us. That's one way we can serve the devotees. Which Akandati Prabhu did. Without Akandati Prabhu, there would be no Bhaktivedanta manor open to the public, and we should, in front of Gaura-Nitai, we should offer him our respects.
We're not meant to wrongly praise devotees, I think, is one way of serving. Don't wrongly praise them. No, I wanted to say, I think we can aim to try and encourage devotees. In every interaction with devotees and with others, we try to encourage them.
Very good.
Whatever that is, in their service, in their internal thinking, whatever it is, we all need encouragement.
Very good. We're going to come back to that in a couple of minutes. That's a very important one. What are some other ways we can serve devotees?
We need a new microphone carrier. Anyone want to volunteer?
Okay. Some other ideas? How can we serve devotees? We're a whole society of service. There should be dozens of ideas.
Yeah, we can create safe space, like a reading group or a circle for a few devotees, for them to share their difficulties or their realizations.
Very nice.
Yeah, an intimate space for them to feel free to share.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. Helpful. Yeah. Good. What else?
You can share your understanding of Shastra.
Very nice.
This is a way to serve devotees also.
Can we also say share our understanding of Shastra and just Krishna consciousness in general? Great. Which is revealing our mind, but it's a special type of that. Share our own realizations and understanding. Very nice. Some more?
Help devotees feel seen and heard.
Explain, please.
Sometimes we feel invisible. Maybe sometimes you might feel invisible, like nobody around here really sees me, nobody really cares about me. Everybody's doing so many services, serving the deities, or so many things, but I feel like nobody really sees me or hears me, cares about me personally. If I have a problem, does anyone care?
Very nice. I have a memory when I was a brahmachari. I joined ISKCON in Denver, Colorado, in the U.S. 50 years ago this year. Thank you, Gaura-Nitai, for tolerating me. And I have a memory. We would sit and eat prasadam in the basement on the floor. I have a very vivid memory of sitting next to another devotee. I can't see his face, but he was sitting next to me, and he wasn't speaking at all. He was totally withdrawn that day. And I noticed that, but I didn't say anything. And the next day he was gone. I never saw him again. And the next day I realized, well, maybe if I'd said something to him, how are you? Like you said, you're important. I hope you're feeling okay. You don't seem so happy today. Can I help? Is there something I can do? Maybe he'd still, I honestly don't, I feel his presence, but I don't see his face. And, maybe if I'd done something, said something, reached out to him, that would have made a difference. I don't know, but it could have made a difference. I know I've had days like that when, because somebody did reach out, I'm still here. So thank you.
Sometimes it even averts the suicide. Yeah.
Yes. You had your hand up here, I think. I think she had her hand up. You had your hand up? No?
Well, I can share my experience because I lived in Germany and I was close to another temple, and I went a few times, but nobody really tried to engage me in the conversations and what was going on. So I felt a bit like an outsider, and whereas here I was welcomed immediately, and now I feel like I'm part of it. Whereas
You are part of it.
Yes, even though I went for many months, I never felt like I was part of it.
Many months you went?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, well, maybe 2 or 3 months. So
well,
but that's more than one.
2 or 3 hours is too much.
So yeah. So for sure, helping people feel included and welcomed.
Yeah. Devotee now that is the manager of ISKCON News, his stories. He went to a temple, and nobody talked to him. And he went up to one devotee who had his hand in some kind of bag. He didn't know what it was. He said, "Excuse me." And he said, "Can't you see I'm chanting?" And then they gave some kind of talk, which he said he didn't understand too much of the talk. And then they said, "Okay, everyone, prasadam downstairs." And they all got up and left. He was in the temple room by himself. He didn't know what prasadam was, But somehow he was determined enough. He got through those obstacles, but not that we should. Bhakti Tirthamaj used to say that preaching means to remove the obstacles. So here's me, here's Krishna. What are the obstacles? Not to put more obstacles. Like they were kind of putting some obstacles in the way. Yeah, okay. 1 or 2 more. What can we do? Then we're going to practice something. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, by acting as a bridge and communicating about the philosophy, the values, and the lifestyle of the devotees with authorities, neighbors, and
by sharing that with others. You're saying it's a way of serving people, serving
Absolutely.
devotees. Okay. 1 more. You're no.
Okay.
1, 2.
You decide.
Yeah, here and then there. Then we're going to practice them.
Thank you. So we can know about the nature of particular devotee and try to engage him in the service according to his nature. And we can also try to engage devotees in Sankirtan by our own example of doing Sankirtan, sharing books, Kirtan.
So one way you said 2 things. One is we serve other Vaishnavas and other people too, by setting an example. Yeah. And also you were clarifying, I should have done it earlier, when we're rendering some service, giving some gift or something, we need to take the time to understand the other person. Yeah? Just like if it's your birthday, and I think, I'll do something nice for you. What should I do? I like blueberry pie. So I'll make you a nice blueberry pie. But I don't do the research and find out you're allergic to blueberries. So how was my gift? I have to find out what other people like, right? I have to take the time to find out. Yes, and then we're going to practice something.
It was very much along the same lines of finding out the nature of the person. Like, instead of not always looking at what we can get out of them, but what's their potential? How can we reach their potential, I suppose?
To really focus on helping others reach their potential. Yeah, sometimes they use this expression in ISKCON, other organizations too, but we should make sure we're people-centered and not project-centered. Yeah, because if you're project-centered, then you burn through people. If you're people-centered, then you build projects. Happens naturally. Okay, so just some of that I jotted down, some highlights. Don't eat until you serve others. Giving gifts, accepting gifts, giving prasad, accepting prasad, revealing our mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, keeping the temple clean, always encouraging devotees, creating safe places where we can share, our experiences in Krishna consciousness and our joys and our struggles in life, sharing our realizations, helping make sure others feel seen and heard, not ignored when they come, and being ready to set an example and help others as much as possible in their Krishna consciousness. So I want to go back to Akandadi's point about encouraging others. There was a survey, they do many surveys, but there was one survey I read a few years ago. They were asking bosses in a company and then employees, what motivates you the most? So they asked the bosses actually, what do you think motivates the employees? And they said, well, money, vacation time, promotion, benefits, like that, tangible things. And then they asked the employees, what motivates you at work? Anybody know what they said? Did they say money? Did they say vacation? Did they say health benefits? Did they say promotion? No. What did they say? Yeah. If they were encouraged and appreciated. If they were appreciated. If they're appreciated at work, so somebody in Starbucks, right, they're just trying to sell coffee, make a few bucks. But what they're really motivated by is appreciation. Now, those are by definition materialistic people who they're working for a living. You know, that you think that they're working for money. Generally, in our communities, sometimes these days we're becoming a little more practical. We provide some salaries, but not very many, or not very much. So, if materialistic people are motivated by appreciation, how much more do devotees need appreciation and encouragement? How important is it? Is it to us? What do you think? Is it important?
Yes, encouragement is fundamental.
Yeah, it's very important. I was thinking, you may remember in the story of the Mahabharata, when Arjuna was going to fight with Karna or Radheya. And Yudhishthira was very worried how Arjuna would do with Radheya. So we went to Shalva, who was going to be the chariot driver of Karna. Do you know what he told him? Anybody remember? He told him, when you ride out to the battle driving the chariot, you say discouraging words. Shalva said, I can't do that. It's against Kshatriya Dharma. He said, no, I'm asking, the boon I'm asking you. You discourage him. So they're riding out to battle in Radheya. He's a warrior. He pretty much knows he's finished, but he's doing his duty. Take me to see Arjuna. I will defeat him. He's nothing compared to me. And his own chariot driver says, what, are you kidding? You can't defeat him. He's so much more powerful than you. Again and again and again he tries to discourage him. Because Yudhishthira knew if you discourage him, then he'll take away his energy to fight. So Prabhupada also says we are fighting a war against who? Maya. And we're this big, and how big is Maya? Maya's big. So how important is it that we encourage each other? And we all know, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Sukha, dukkha, honor, dishonor, happiness, distress, success, failure, up days, down days, they all come. So how important is it for us to make sure we encourage each other? But sometimes we don't take the time to do that. But we heard the Lord said, if you think you're my devotee, you're not my devotee unless you're the devotee of my devotee. And if we want to serve devotees, then we want to help them be successful in Krishna consciousness, right? And if we're going to help them be successful, we need to give them courage to fight with Maya, no matter what. Because we know, Krishna Prabhupada writes, purport Bhagavad Gita, success is guaranteed if we don't give up. So Maya is trying to get us to give up. And among devotees, if we can encourage each other, don't give up. What greater service is there? Isn't it? And even you think on a very, very, very high theological level, there's this beautiful painting of Krishna with the gopis. So it's described that the gopis, they're doing so many things. They're playing instruments, they're dressing beautifully, they're providing so many things for Radha and Krishna. What do they want in exchange? A very special thing is described from Krishna. Krishna's playing his flute. What do they want in exchange? They're hoping to get what? A sidelong glance from Krishna. And this is like for us, right? God is there, He's a person, He's in the spiritual realm, He has relationships, we all serve Him. The topmost devotees of the gopis, what they want is just Krishna's glance. Oh, you look very lovely today. Or thank you for that nice service. Or I'm pleased by what you're doing. Just a little appreciation, that's all they want. So most of us, actually I can't say, for me, I can't tell if Krishna's looking at me. I'm not there yet. So where does my encouragement come from? The gopis are encouraged by Krishna. Where does our encouragement come? Who gives us courage? From the devotees. What if the devotees don't encourage us? This devotee sitting next to me so many years ago, maybe a few words of encouragement, he'd still be there. But he left. Nobody encouraged him. You're important. I care about you. You've done such nice service. And it's interesting because sometimes in our devotee communities, there's people that have been together sometimes 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. They very rarely give any appreciation. Sometimes I visit communities and there's someone who's been cooking like the Raj Bhoga offering every day or 5 days a week for 10, 15 years. No one ever says anything to them. Except once. Prabhu, you burned the rice today. That's the feedback they get, isn't it? But actually, we're not here for money, we're not here for power, we're not here for sense gratification. We're here because we want to awaken our love for Krishna. We can't see Krishna yet. Even, the Guru, some of us are the Diksha Guru may sometimes come, Siksha Gurus are there, but we're all meant to encourage each other, but we don't. Sometimes we get distracted. So how important is that in encouragement? Very, very important. So we're going to practice that. That's what we're going to do now. We're going to practice appreciation. Okay? Now, there's different kinds of appreciation. This is one kind of appreciation. Prabhu, actually this is flattery. We're not going to do this, okay? Flattery is like, Prabhu, when I see you, I'm reminded of Krishna. Every time I hear you sing, it sounds like the pure devotees of the Lord are just awakening love of God within the heart. Just being in your presence, I feel inspired in Krishna consciousness. Can I borrow your car today? You see? Yeah, see? That's not appreciation. That's cheap, they say English, cheap flattery. Okay. Appreciation is like, and I'm going to offer this again. I kind of did, but as an example, okay, I'll say, Akandani Prabhu, in all seriousness, I just want to appreciate the fact that because I've seen the videos, when our temple in Bhakti-yoga Manor was down and out, when it looked like there was not much hope in the future of maintaining that temple, except maybe for 100 devotees, and no special festivals, you had the courage and the devotion to stand up and to say, we're not going to let this happen. This is too special. And it's not just special for us, it's special for other people. You had that vision and you had that strength and you led that community. And today, there's tens of thousands of people visiting Bhakti-yoga Manor because you had a whole team, but you led the team. So thank you for that. They wouldn't be there otherwise. Thank you. Okay? Haribol. I bring him with me every time I do this seminar so I can say something sincere. Yeah. So there's people in this room. I don't know. We have some local devotees here. We have some devotees from the Communications Network. All of us know at least a few devotees here. At least one or two. Some of us know 10 or 20. Some people we've known for many years. There may be some people in this room that when you were really thinking about walking out the door, they said something to you, they put their arm around you, they encouraged you, and you're here because of them, but maybe you never told them thank you. There may be devotees in this room that lead a kirtan now and then that just warms your heart. There probably are devotees here that dress the deities in such a beautiful way, you feel your heart so attracted to Krishna. There may be devotees in this room that give class every now and then and inspire you. So many different ways devotees, but oftentimes we don't really get a chance to appreciate. And I know we have a friend who passed away about 10 years ago, 15 now, and she had terminal cancer. And instead of a funeral, they had a celebration of life before she left. And everybody came and told her about how much they really... Because it doesn't help so much, you're in front of the dead body, the soul's going, and you thank you very much. A little late. It's nice you came, but it's a little late. So we want to try... We have the chance now to appreciate devotees. And we can understand, as we read the quotes, if we don't consider ourselves a devotee of the devotee, Krishna doesn't accept us. If we want to chant the holy name, but we don't actually respect and serve other living entities, Lord Chaitanya doesn't accept. If we try to worship the deities, but we don't prioritize the relation with devotees, according to Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, our worship is useless. So what we're going to do for about 15 minutes, in a minute we're going to move all the chairs away. I've never done this in front of the deities, but this is Gaur Nitai. They love it when devotees come together. So it's okay with Gaur Nitai, I think. So we're going to move the chairs aside, and everybody is going to try to talk to as many devotees as possible for just 30 seconds, okay? And offer some special, unique appreciation of them, okay? So again, there may be people here you've known for years and years, maybe not, some of us are visitors, but maybe for 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 hours, 2 minutes, and you can offer some appreciation how they've helped you in your life, how they've helped you in your Krishna consciousness. So, there's a couple rules, okay? When someone approaches you, you fold your palms and you listen. You're not allowed to plug your ears. You're not allowed to say, Guru's mercy, Guru's mercy, Guru's mercy. Not allowed. Okay? Sometimes devotees, they want like that, okay? It's not allowed. You just fold your palms and you listen, and then you say Hare Krishna. And if you want, you can say something back. But you're trying to get to as many devotees as possible. Don't go to one or two in the corner and start, talking, okay? The goal is you want to get to as many devotees as possible. And then we'll take maybe 10 minutes and we'll talk about it at the end. Okay? Oh, one other thing. If you want to offer appreciation to someone and someone's talking to them, it's okay to kind of wait there, but don't have a line of 10 people. You want to talk to as many people as possible, okay? Any questions? Okay, so we're going to move the chairs aside. We're going to get up and appreciate the Vaishnavas, okay? And men and women, please don't go, Italians and English, you can mix, okay? Please mix. Hare Krishna.
Yes, and giving, how do you explain that in words? I find it very beautiful to view people with the heart, and it was very fulfilling.
You felt by appreciating others, you felt fulfilled.
Yes, 100%.
Very good. Someone else. What was it like offering appreciation? Akandini Prabhu, can you share? He's a very thoughtful Vaishnava.
Oh, Krishna.
Specifically, giving appreciation.
Devotees who know me know that I choke up very easily. And in this situation where I know maybe a few of you, just a little bit, and many others I was meeting for the first time, but it was just, in a situation as we've just done, it was somehow or other easy to see into your souls and to appreciate the hearts and just the dedication. Somehow or other, you created a circumstance where we could actually see the other devotees as they are, as Krishna sees them, as Prabhupada sees them. So that was overwhelming.
Thank you. Someone else, what did it feel like giving appreciation? Let's hear from a few of you. Yes. So we heard so far was fulfilling. It actually was easy. It filled our hearts to see you devotees the way Krishna sees us.
Actually, I was thinking that this is the kind of mentality that we have when we join the Krishna consciousness movement, is that we appreciate everyone. Everyone is a saint, everyone is so special like that, and somehow or other on the way we lose a little bit this kind of mentality. But it's really connecting, like Prabhu said, connects the heart with the heart, and it's so purifying, so refreshing, so connecting, so beautiful, yeah. The spiritual life in practice.
Purified and refreshing. Take show appreciation. We feel purified, we feel refreshed. How important is it for us to feel purified? Is that important in our process? Trilokama Prabhu? Yes.
And actually, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we read from Chaitanya Charitamrita that he liked to appreciate the devotees, and he said this, he had like 100 mouths just glorifying the devotees. So, yeah.
Very nice, thank you. Someone else? Another lady? What was it like, or Prabhu? Offering, particularly giving appreciation. Then we're going to ask receiving, but just giving.
Giving appreciation gives a sense of reality. A deeper that? Sense of reality that I would like to have more. Be more present in that reality.
So, in a sense, not seeing what my mind may see, but seeing in a deeper sense of who these people are.
The reality that is really, even for smaller things, we don't need to expect. But really giving means to see even the details, see even some smaller facts that Krishna is probably more aware than myself.
Very good. Nice.
To say.
Another one? Yes, Manu.
I really like what this Prabhu said about Lord Chaitanya almost having 100 mouths when you start appreciating. And what I felt was that it's like the actual position of the soul. I felt, that this is actually a natural position, that just by appreciating, oh, wait a minute, this is what I should be doing. This is really good. I feel more like myself when I'm appreciating others, So I really like that kind of the way, even though I'm appreciating others, I'm feeling more like myself.
Beautiful. Someone else, what was it like? What was your experience giving appreciation?
Hare Krishna. So for me, it's a feeling of gratefulness that whatever I'm getting, whatever this devotee association, and I'm able to practice Krishna consciousness. This is because of all of you, all of the devotees, like-minded souls. So this feeling of gratefulness is appreciation for me.
Very nice, thank you. The ladies, one more. Ladies, want to comment? Sonia, were you here during the whole thing? You came. I thought you came down. Okay, Sonia. Guru Charan, somebody back there want to share? What was it like giving appreciation? Anybody, the Italian speakers want?
Qualcuno vuole dire qualcosa su dare apprezzamento?
Allora io apprezzando i devoti mi sono emozionata molto e in questo momento ha nutrito veramente il mio cuore e la mia anima, quello che io avevo proprio
by appreciating the devotees, I really, cioè,
il mio cuore ha arricchito il mio cuore e la mia anima.
My heart became very, very much enriched. I become emotional and I feel che sentita piena.
Mi sono sentita praticamente, ho nutrito il mio cuore e la mia anima nell'apprezzare i devoti. Mi ha fatto bene questa cosa, no? Avere questo scambio.
She understood that this is was very enlivening and very nutritious, no? Give life to her spiritual Krishna consciousness.
So I just jotted down some words. We feel fulfilled. We feel that it opens our heart. We feel it's the enthusiasm as we did as new devotees, where everything is bright and inspiring. We feel the genuine position of the soul, that we're actually that we see the deeper reality of our relationship with other people. We feel purified. Our hearts are melted. So, how important is this in Krishna consciousness, to see the soul, see as the soul sees, and to feel the deeper sense? Is that important for us? Thank you. Is that maybe why we came to do Krishna consciousness, at least in part? Right? So just this simple exercise helps us feel that. Maybe we should do it more often. Yeah? Maybe if it's such an easy thing to do. So what did it feel like when you were appreciated? What did it feel like when people appreciated you? Who has the microphone? There. Let's hear more from the Italians. They have bigger heart than the rest of us. How did it feel like when people appreciated you, Prabhu?
Appreciation, as you said, is very, very, very important, because from appreciation arises humility, arises respect, arises, and I found this quality in all the devotees around me, and I'm trying to develop this quality.
But how did it feel when they appreciated you?
Sorry?
How did you feel? How did you feel when they gave appreciation to you? How did you feel?
I have found a satisfaction in my heart, because my false ego is very great.
Because it's interesting you mentioned that many devotees, they say when they were appreciating me, I felt more humble. More humble. Jaydas, you're shaking your head, you want to comment? Where's the mic? Somebody can run quick with the mic.
From appreciation.
We want to go quick.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Because it comes out very often, because sometimes people think if I glorify you, become proud. But the experience almost everyone has, when people appreciate me, I become more humble. So
yes,
can you...
I can definitely concord. I definitely agree with that. I can definitely experience that. It was very moving experience. Thank you for organizing this exercise, because it was very. Because sometimes we devotees. There's some devotees I've seen here, I know here, that are living in situations far away from everyone. They're alone, and maybe nobody appreciates them, and it's difficult.
So how did you feel personally when...
I felt very nice, I have to say. I felt very inspired, let's say, inspired to, not proud, but inspired to continue, especially inspired to go on doing. It's a confirmation that you're doing the right thing, that people appreciate you, and you didn't realize that it was important to them, and that they appreciate it. It convinces you that yes, I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right. I should keep going where direction I'm going.
Nice.
That was.
Someone others want to share? What was it like receiving appreciation, Mataji? Oh, we'll let everybody. Okay, go short. Yes.
Keep it short. Why do we feel more humble when we receive appreciation? My experience is that we're getting confirmation that we're pleasing Srila Prabhupada. And once we understand we're pleasing Srila Prabhupada, the false ego subsides, and all the other motivations that drive us to have to build ourselves up in some way erode, because the most important one has been confirmed. You're doing all right for Prabhupada.
That's very nice. That's very deep. So by gaining appreciation, it's such a genuine experience. The other motivations, they fade away. Beautiful. Mataji, please.
Actually, I really, when someone is glorifying me, I really feel that what he's saying, I'm really not worthy at all. No, so I'm really embarrassed, and I feel that yes, maybe I should develop these qualities. And
so when they would say to you, you have this quality, that quality, then you feel like, oh, I should develop that.
They are seeing too much.
Yes, yes. Someone else? One or two more? Yes, Prabhu. Oh, Mataji, you want to speak?
No, I wanted to say the same. Actually, for me it was more easy to glorify than to listen. Was not easy. But I also thought I should come like this. This was encouragement for me to develop this quality.
So people say you're like this, you're like that, you think, oh, I wish I was.
Yeah.
Now I have to work harder.
Yeah,
to live
because
up
the devotees,
to
they are very merciful, no? They see in you quality even if you don't have. So now I have to try to develop.
Actually, I don't think it's their mercy. I think it's their seeing the reality we heard. They're seeing the reality. Yeah.
Thank you for organizing this wonderful thing. For me, it was like when I'm really hungry and then I ate a huge plate of amazing prasad, or like if I'm like in the cold and I get on the warm sun, it was somehow, really making some good feeling, because I understood that my mind is torturing me so much, like you are so no good and you are rascal, and then I see devotees appreciate so tiny things, and it's showing me the way that this makes sense what you are doing, and it inspires me to do more.
So a couple of things I heard you say inspires us to do more, and then one thing very important, we have a brahmachari telling us by getting appreciation, it was more satisfying than having a feast. We all know how much brahmacharis get energy from a feast. And he said this is more important. That's a very powerful statement. Thank you. Thank you for shining light on that for us. One or two other people want to share, then we'll do a little summary. Yes, Prabhu.
To be on the receiving ends of glorification from elder devotees is bringing self-confidence, and this appreciation is helping you feel that you are on the right path, and helps you to have more enthusiasm.
Yes, Guru Charan.
And on the way there, I just want to say it feels like blessings. This feedback when I get these wonderful, it's like a prophecy and a blessing.
When devotees were appreciating you, it was like getting a blessing from them.
Can I say something to appreciate the others? I want to say before.
Yeah, you're the president. We can't stop you.
I am your servant, but I was thinking about. I appreciate the others it is very inspiring because it's a practical experience to giving up the envy towards the other devotee, because the soul, conditioned soul, this is a very basic disease, to feel envy for other devotees. By glorifying the other devotees is very helpful. It's a very practical way to apply Krishna consciousness, and is what I understand is Krishna is satisfied. We feel so satisfaction by doing that because Krishna is satisfied. No? I think so. Other way, what is the reason? No? So we do this. This is a very good exercise, very deep exercise, and Krishna, and we feel pleased, we feel inspired because Krishna is pleased. So I find it very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. So I just jotted down some points that devotees made. Giving and receiving appreciation made me feel fulfilled. The enthusiasm of a new devotee, I felt purified, I felt refreshed, I felt I was in touch with a deeper reality, my heart melted, in receiving I felt humbled, my heart was satisfied, it felt very nice, I was inspired to continue. That's so important because we all know, right? Prabhu says that when we try to become a devotee, it's like declaring war on Maya. Like we said before, we're very small, Maya is very big. So by appreciating you, I can inspire you to continue to go on in service. Isn't that a very, very important thing? And it gives us confidence. So, just when the curtains open, we didn't stop. We just asked everybody to pause. Sometimes I've been some places, because I like to do this whenever I visit if I can. It's a wonderful exercise, and so many people can do the same and should. But sometimes devotees will say, at the end of all this, will say, that was really nice. Why don't you come back next year and we can appreciate each other again? That is not the purpose of this. It's not to help us. We have a once in a kalpa, right? Like maybe every, whatever it is, 1 week before Nishringa Chaturdasi, we'll have an appreciation exercise. And that's not what it is. If we can ourselves, if we can feel inspired to continue, if we gain more confidence, if we can feel fulfilled, if we can open our hearts, if we can feel purified, isn't that something that we should do on a regular basis? Right? And like we all know, the tendency of our materialistic mind, where does our mind generally go in terms of relationship with others? We're very expert at finding what? Faults. We're so good, Kali Yuga, we just find faults like anything. So, it's just like when we're chanting japa, our mind naturally goes so many places. At least mind goes everywhere. Everywhere but the holy name. So I have to bring it back and train my mind to think about Krishna. So in the same way, this is like appreciation yoga. To train our mind when I see others, especially devotees, to train my mind to see the qualities that I should appreciate them. Because it's a fact, devotees are so rare, and it's a fact without devotees, we would never be able to be devotees. I mean, look at this beautiful temple. I just bought a plane ticket, But Gaura-Nitaya there, they give me so much mercy, the temple, the grounds, it's so inspiring. So there's devotees here that are maintaining that. So I'm just getting all those blessings. So I would have a request that raise your hand if you felt this was a positive experience. Okay. Raise your hand if you'd like to have more such experiences. Okay. Here's the easy way to do that. Okay? Every day, appreciate 2 people. Is that too much to ask? So find yourself, instead of like noticing, okay, somebody leads the kirtan, and what does our mind notice? Oh, he got lost halfway through the third line, and he bungled, and he said the wrong word. Right? Our mind's very expert at that. So instead of that, to change our mind, Prabhu, thank you so much for leading the kirtan, because I felt very inspired this morning by the kirtan. And we just had the experience ourselves. When someone says that to us, then they're more inspired to come the next day and do kirtan. The devotee was sitting next to me. If I'd said something nice to him, maybe he would have felt, as you all said, he wants to continue. That it's confirmed he's doing the right thing. But I didn't reach out. It's a true story. I didn't reach out. I was in my own world, and I didn't interact with him. So, what do you think about every day trying genuinely to appreciate two people? Can we do that? Minimum two? I know I can say from my own experience, when I first taught this whole experience, I was in Mayapur. It's our international headquarters. It's a wonderful place, and there's a lot of divisions between people. There's a real sense of higher class, lower class, like that. And if you're there and you walk around, you notice the people that are on the lower rungs, very little appreciation. So I try to make a point. Sometimes I'm walking down, I see some persons like weeding the garden. They don't even speak English, but I'll stop somebody and say, you speak Bengali? Yeah. Tell him he's doing a wonderful job, and because of him the Dhamma is beautiful. And sometimes I think, I don't know if anybody ever said anything to them like that. Maybe not. Generally not so much. But isn't that what we're supposed to do to the whole world? I mean, the whole world are devotees. They forgot them. We're like in this crazy prison house of rebellious people. And Krishna's trying to... I'm going to share one story that Rukmini tells a lot. And then we'll wrap it up. There was devotee Adikarta. Was the guard... night guard, watchman for Prabhupada in New Vrindavan years ago. And so he was kind of a new devotee, and Prabhupada was in his rooms, everyone's taking rest, and Prabhupada's translating. So he's walking around the house, just, making sure, see if Prabhupada needs anything, and protecting him, like that. So it started to rain, so there was like an open portico or garage, so he came underneath that shelter to get out of the rain, and he could still hear Prabhupada translating. And then Prabhupada stopped. So he was wondering. And then he looked in the doorway and Prabhupada was there. So he paid his obeisances. And he said, Srila Prabhupada, can I do some service for you? He was there. He was the only one at night to render some service. Prabhupada said, yes. You can go where I cannot go. You can go where I cannot go. Imagine, it's the middle of the night. You alone with Srila Prabhupada. You ask, can I do some service, like bring you a glass of water, or, what do you need? He says, you can go where I cannot go. So the devotee was thinking of Prabhupada, you were just in Japan, you went to India, you're in New Vrindavan, you're going to go to LA, then you're going to go to South America, Russia, where Prabhupada said, you can go into the future. Imagine that, one-on-one with Prabhupada. You can go into the future. And then he said, and the people will know how much Krishna loves them by how you treat them. What? I mean, it's like Prabhupada just revealing his heart to this devotee in the middle of the night. You can go where I cannot go. You can go into the future, and you can show people how much Krishna loves them by how you treat them. So I think that's really our mission, isn't it? We're supposed to show people how much Krishna loves them by how we treat them. And as we just all experienced, just little few words of appreciation. Because it's tough. The mind's telling us, you're not worthy, you'll never be successful. Just like this Mahabharata, right? Shalva wanted Shalva, convince him he can't be successful. Discourage him. Don't encourage him. Like normally the chariot driver is supposed to go, yes, you're the greatest, you'll be succeed. They're fighting somebody 10 times more powerful than them, but the chariot driver is saying, yeah, you'll defeat him. Because the words of encouragement are so important. So if every day we can try to appreciate two people at least. So before you go to, we already did 8 or 10 or 20 here. Before you go to sleep tonight, 2 more people. Those of you who have a husband at home or a wife at home, surprise them tonight. Go home and offer some sweet words of appreciation, because we need that. And also, I think we should think not just in terms of devotees, but that we should try to really learn, because everyone's a devotee. We should, just like this man in Mayapur, he's weeding the flowers. Without him, there'd be no flowers. You know, when you get on the bus in the morning, some of us take buses. Without that bus driver, would you get to work or to the library or to school? Isn't it? Without the policeman, you're going to walk down the street, they wouldn't steal your purse or your wallet or whatever. Devotees, we have this vision. We're so grateful, ultimately to Krishna, of course. But also Krishna's empowering people to do so many things. And just imagine, that bus driver, every morning you get on the bus, thank you for being here, bus driver. After a while, they start thinking, what's with this guy? You go to work, the tendency in most work environments is not so appreciative. It's all about climbing to the top, and sometimes it's about stepping on each other's head. So devotees in that environment can generally appreciate the contributions of others. And after some time, they start wondering, what's different from you? Why are you so grateful all the time? And you say, well, you really want to know? Yeah, okay. Here, take this book. Chant this mantra. Let me show you this picture I got in my drawer. Like that. So let's give that a try. Everybody try that. And it's so important in our community because, like you mentioned, thank you in the beginning, you said you were going to some other ISKCON temple. Nobody noticed you, nobody appreciated you, and you're not there anymore. And you're here because you felt openness and warmth. So let's try to make sure we can do that in our communities. And sometimes I know another seminar I help facilitate is a ISKCON leadership seminar. And in that one, so many times we talk about integrity and people before projects. And every single time, at least one, if not 20 people will ask the same question. What about upstairs? You're telling us to be like this. What about I'm the vice president. What about the president? What about the GBC? What about this one, that one, the senior devotees, the department head, et cetera, et cetera. They're not like that. How am I supposed to do it? And in that one, I'm referred to Bhakti Stephen Covey. You've heard of Bhakti Stephen Covey? He has Bhagavad Gita before he left. One person in this world I gave a book to that maybe people know is Stephen Covey. He totally was so appreciative. But he talks about circle of influence and circle of concern. So we may not be able to influence what's going on, in all of Italy or all of Europe or the GBC level or whatever, but we can influence the 3 people we work with. We can influence on the bus driver we see. We can influence on the gardener down the street. We can, just the same way, just a little appreciation here changes things for us. We can be that change in everybody else's life. Of course, people that are ready, we directly give them Krishna and chant and have them go to the temple. But what if they're not ready for that? We ignore them? And Krishna says in the Gita, one is a kind friend to every living entity. That's the definition, one of his definitions of devotee. So let's try that. Okay, 2 people every day. Raise your hand if you're willing to try. I'm still trying. Every day, 2 people. You can do it? Okay. All right. Any last minute comments? Yes. Rukmini.
Thank you. What's your name? Vishwambar, right. So I really wanted to appreciate what Vishwambar said when he was carrying the mic around, because he said that it was prophetic. Hearing being appreciated was prophetic, like, wow, maybe this is some prophecy that I'm not seeing, but maybe that could be the reality of who I am in the future. So really appreciate it. It was really beautiful. It was embarrassing to be appreciated, but to think that it's prophetic, wow.
People see in us sometimes, devotees see qualities that maybe we don't see, or we're not willing to see for whatever reason. And when devotees point those things out and they appreciate that, as many of you said, it inspires us to want to do more and to do better. So that sometimes we think, don't appreciate others because they'll get puffed up. No, just the opposite. They're more inspired to serve in a humble way. So thank you very much. See everybody for the communications meeting tomorrow. Last words of wisdom from our brahmachari.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for a wonderful, inspiring class. I just wanted to ask regarding when you said that Prabhupada wanted us to be in war, to declare war to Maya, and we get fired up, we will fight Maya. But then I remember, like, Maya is the best devotee of Krishna. So how can I challenge the best devotee? It seems contradictory.
Yeah, you don't challenge her, the best devotee. You challenge the illusion in your heart that I'm separate from Krishna. I can enjoy the material world. I'm the enjoyer. I'm the controller. That's Maya is acting as Krishna's representative in our heart. So that we fight against. Fight against thinking everybody's here for my enjoyment. No, if I appreciate others, then part of that means I don't want to exploit them anymore. You're a devotee of Krishna. How can I exploit you? How can I use my power over you? Like that. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you, Guru Charan Prabhu, for allowing us to go a little bit later. Devotees, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vaishnav Sangha ki jai. Appreciate each other ki jai.